With its stylized art and hip-hop beats, Afro Samurai shocked audiences with a very American take on anime. Samuel L. Jackson took both the lead role, as the reserved Afro, and the supporting role, as the outlandish Ninja, and the show has enjoyed a successful run through television and film. Now, in a reimagining of sorts, the game has been released, bringing the show's warped, futuristic, feudal Japanese style to gaming, hoping to expose a new audience to the phenomenon.
What the hell is that?
The story is a revenge tale, following Afro Samurai on his journey to hunt down Justice, the man responsible for his father's death. This proves to be a task more complicated than it sounds, as Justice dons the #1 headband, which is said to give the wearer the powers of a god. Broken into 10 chapters, the game's plot can be hard to follow and falls victim to the many follies that generally occur in licensed properties. For fans of the series, the game gives opportunities to play through some of the show's most exciting acts, but for the uninitiated, it comes across as disjointed and muddled. Overall, the narrative works, but piece by piece it's hard to follow what's going on at any given time. The different chapters are well varied and broken up into platforming and combat sections, each culminating with either an embarrassingly easy or frustratingly hard boss battle. There are about 8 to 10 hours in the gameplay before unlocking a harder setting, which ramps up the difficulty significantly and gives a single player a little more staying power. The life of a samurai isn't easy, and Afro Samurai shows that in every possible detail. Using vertical and horizontal attacks, Afro charges up his focus meter, which can be activated to slow down the mayhem and land more precise blows, slicing enemies apart. It's used in an original way and becomes rather rhythmic, swinging back and forth between fast combos and slow, focused strikes. The combat in Afro Samurai is easily its greatest accomplishment, and is as rewarding as it is brutal. Platforming, however, is not as successful, and fails at just about every attempt to create fun, acrobatic sections in between the long sessions of combat. The typical array of wall running, jumping, and climbing are at Afro's disposal, but the flaky camera and poor controls make these sections more difficult than they are entertaining. Attempting to break up the monotony of combat makes sense, but these sections are poorly designed. The fact that these moves can't be tied into combat in any way simply adds insult to injury. And the areas allowed are limited to specific spots coded in by the developers. Boss encounters might be the game's low point, and whereas some are genuinely fun and exciting, others are the antithesis of entertainment. Relying on cheap and annoying tactics, some of the battles feel completely removed from the rest of the game, and are as uninteresting as they are unfulfilling. Luckily, a majority of the game involves combat, which, though repetitive, is highly satisfying. In an attempt to closely replicate the television series' stylized art, Afro Samurai has a cartoony, cel-shaded look. Characters, namely Afro, are modeled exceptionally well and look as though they've leapt from the cartoon into the game. Combat animations are incredibly smooth, and the game features what has to be the best dismemberment detection ever presented. Instead of giving gamers a few different points where enemies can be sliced, it appears that almost anything can be cut, and enemies are hacked apart dynamically. Afro Samurai doesn't try to hide its mature content, and is filled with foul language, over-the-top gore, and unnecessary, although pleasant, nudity. The hip-hop beats of the RZA score the game, and sound oddly fitting amidst the otherwise Far Eastern environments, while the voice acting of Samuel L. Jackson and Ron Perlman help give it an extremely polished feel.
To summarize, the guy you're looking for is over there at the bar, and you are about to get your ass kicked. Later!
In the end, Afro Samurai is a flawed but entertaining experience. It's close to being amazing, and at times it really is, but there are too many times when it just simply isn't. The camera's too bad, the bosses are too frustrating, and the platforming just isn't any fun. Hopefully a sequel can fix the issues and create something truly wonderful, but sadly, Afro Samurai doesn't live up to its potential. Thanks for watching, and be sure to check out the full text review on Gamervision.com.
You saw that, right? This some fucked up shit right here. I'm gonna go get some coffee. Keep an eye on that bullshit for me, will you? Go! I think I'm gonna take the rest of the day off.